Good morning, good noontime, good midday, good afternoon, good noon 30, good day, good later day, good evening, good night, good midnight, good midnight 30, whatever time of day it is. I want you to know I'm Lynn Ferguson and I approve this message. I'm Lynn Ferguson, also known as Lynn Tennyson, your host here on the show, Lynn Spins. It's a podcast dedicated to Black life in America and all over the world and music. Today, I want to talk about the music aspect. Specifically, I want to kind of focus on Sexyy Red, but I really want to just talk about music in general. And it's the same conversation people have been having out here. And I've wanted to put my 2 cents in. I've been wanting to say this since I made a video through my TikTok that I quickly deleted because I was like all over the place with it and I wanted to do it a little bit better. And I also was a lot more critical of Sexyy Red than I wanted to be, just to be within my own morals and laurels and things. So, long story short, the girl's not talented. She is a key. She is a funny person to be around, but being a funny person to be around and to see interacting in, certain spheres versus being a comedian, versus being an actress, versus being a performer, an entertainer of whatever kind, a musician, a rapper, a singer, totally different things. Totally different things. Yet we are not only living within an era within which there are people like her who are able to and actually more prone to get famous, but there also is this aura, this odor that's permeating society and basically making it so that we feel obligated to support Black people like this in general. So like people are forcing upon us that, support of ratchet behavior and things like this. And it's like, I don't want to support someone who's rapping about and singing about, freeing my baby daddy from the penitentiary so I can have some head. And yeah, he shot some people dead, but he ain't do that shit anyway. Like, I don't want to hear about that 24/7. That's the only thing you can rap about. That's the only thing you're talking about in your songs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing for you to make a point about that. It's another thing for you to promote that kind of lifestyle. And it's like, I'm not here for that. I'm just not. Like, there was a time when I used to listen. I sing in every genre of music. So obviously I listen to every genre of music. I used to listen to things like Cancer Slug, which is the band, and other music, not to, defame them or whatever, but like same thing, you know? I'll defame them as much as I'm defaming Sexyy Red in this situation. It's not good music. It's music about spilling the blood of the innocent and like killing people and like, bathing in blood of people you killed and things like that. And, fucking women while killing them. Like it's really fucked up shit. And like I found out about it and I kind of like was like, oh, okay, well let me see how far I can take this music thing and like, when it comes to just listening to music and like getting into music, let me see if I can get into this. And I did for a minute, but like very quickly it became draining. It was literally taking life from me living with that, habit of listening to music like that hobby. And it was very easy to stop. And I just think it's ridiculous. Like, we talk about the children, we talk about how, certain things should not be in the public zeitgeist, it should be more inaccessible so that, kids don't have to suffer it and families don't have to suffer it. And basically just more reasons advocating or more things people advocating for, closeting individuals in society who are different. And it's just crazy because it's like, but we're not having any of those conversations with a character like Sexyy Red. We don't give a damn about that. We don't give a damn about her literally promoting the worst values in life, literally promoting violence and gang affiliation and staying with a nigga who, put your life in danger. Like, we're okay with that. That's not a problem at all. Her being invited to high schools in my area, because again, I'm from St. Louis. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I am from St. Louis, where um, Sexyy Red is from as well, and I'm actually from North City as well. So I actually made a video or something earlier, and I mentioned her, and I said something about I don't think she's from my hood, and then I said, well, maybe she is, she could be. And lo and behold, she is. Maybe not my exact hood, but definitely. I mean, if you're from North City, you're basically from the same hood as everybody from North City, because you if you've lived in one place in North City, you've lived in every place in North City. You know what it's like if you lived there and you actually had to live there. Like, live means longer than like a few years, like part of your life was there. But which it very much so is the case for me. Parts of my life. But, you know, it's just crazy because it's just like at the end of the day, I'm not saying you have to be some girl who talks like what people want to consider a white chick and, um, raps and sings about, beautiful things or something like me, which I don't rap and sing about just beautiful things, but like, for the most part, yes, my music is more wholesome. I'm not saying your music has to be wholesome even. I'm just saying that there has to be a bar and there has to be acknowledgement of where things are. This is not the level of notoriety, publicity, fame, um, clout marketing that she should be getting. She should be relegated to certain aspects of the industry that are more adult. She should not be paraded around at family venues like WWE events. I grew up on WWE. WWE is very well known for being for big kids and little kids. You know what I'm saying? It's all a certain type of atmosphere. This is not a venue that is catering to people who are anything other than, as I described them, people are going there for a specific type of thing or whatever. So, it's not a place for that particular thing. So I'm not saying that this is a place for only, children's level entertainment, but like, and family level, but it should be family level. It should be for family level entertainment. It should be a place where, you've got people who are, you know, understanding that this is everything that is catered here and that is shown here should be for the family. Is Sexy Red for the family? And I don't care how black your family is, how ghetto your family is, although we definitely know there are plenty of them out there. Your kids should not be listening to Sexy Red. It just shouldn't be happening. It doesn't make any sense. But these same people who will let their kids listen to Sexy Red talk about getting pounded and all this other stuff are the same people who would think that you were trying to traffic their kids if you ever showed them one of my videos or one of my songs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't make music like that. Don't get me wrong, I've made some hard music and I've made some, sexy music. And I'm actually making Body High right now, which is coming out with me and DeBold. But stay tuned for that. But even that one is like a much more sensual type of song. You know what I'm saying? It's a much more, sophisticated piece of work. If I get to some of the lyrics, and of course I write my own lyrics. I can't say of course nowadays because, people out here getting AI to write their music, but the rush is like a body high. I want you as a lullaby. You won't regret my I. had him in a corner of my basement party with some Bombay, told me he was praying for me in a bad way, told him he was just my type. There's only you tonight. I'm letting you in. It's like in my dreams. Sorcery has got me doing crazy things. Press you for it, make you want to stay. You gonna believe me when I say I want to play. Take me on. In his arms, rush inside of me, leave me in a bad way. I just want to feel him when I let him go. Body tremble when he near me. He already know it's moving faster. Blissful disaster, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm working with. So it's just really crazy when I see stuff like this because I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, why are we sitting here saying that Sexy Red should just be, what's playing in the background when girls are doing ballet and they're 6 years old? And why are you shaming Black people who have a problem with this being the representation of our culture? Do you not understand that we have barely any representation of people who keep their clothes on and actually stand for something other than just sex and violence? Meg is amazing. Meg the Stallion is absolutely amazing. She's honestly my favorite rapper today. But she doesn't just stick to, and she doesn't just stick to, shaking her butt. To be honest with you, well, no, the earliest video I've seen her in, she was shaking her butt a little bit, but it wasn't the main part of the video or whatever. And we do have to also acknowledge that women are already going to look we're already programmed to see women in a certain kind of light, you know? So it's very easy, especially with the physique of women and how just appealing women are, to any little thing that a woman does be like, oh, okay, she was trying to, be sexy. She was trying to be inappropriate, whatever. So let's stop pretending about that, number one. But it's just crazy. Like, I think it's absolutely insane that we have so many people out here who are just like nothing but ass. It's nothing but ass. It's nothing but like shake a little something, make a little love, get down tonight. And that is literally it. But it's not even that tactfully worded, as the songs from back in the day, Like, it's really bad. Like, it's like there's no tact, there's no mystery with the music anymore. The music is just as mysterious as the attire nowadays. Like, no clothes, no holds. No holds barred, no clothes on the bar. Like, that's it. That's all I can say. I just think it's ridiculous, Now, yes, I do acknowledge there are different things that helped Sexy Red, for instance, if we're going to compare me and her. There are different things that have helped her career than that have hurt my career because of how we've traveled them. So like, and how we've been able to travel them. So like, navigate them. So like, monetary. Well, we could say advertising. Advertisement is purely based in monetary and or connections. If you don't have, and really that just describes how she made it in general. She had money to back up her career, to support her career, her music, and to get her stuff out there, to advertise her stuff. She also had a connection, a community, connections with her community. She was doing so much hair in St. Louis, she made a name for herself. She was honestly absolutely an entrepreneur, you know? She was doing some other stuff too that she admits to that, of course, helped her as well that we do it. I do not do hair. My talent is singing. My talent is singing. Well, it's one of my talents. I have many talents. But I've not been able to monetize any of them. Because in this society, the artistic ability that I have, people don't care about it. Like, they don't care about real art anymore. Nobody wants to see a real movie anymore. I remember when I was a kid, they were complaining about The Lord of the Rings and how long of a movie it was. Now everybody's out here complaining about how horrible The Hobbit was. Well, not everybody. Some people need to be saying that. But I'm just sitting here like, but y'all hoes were the same ones who were mad when we were kids when Lord of the Rings came out. And I understand they were kids, but at the same time, why is your critique of a movie? I just think it's very disingenuous. I think we're really in a very disingenuous time at this point because people are not being honest with themselves about what they want. They condemn people like me who are just because of who we are. Not because of what we rap or sing about, but because of who we are. And they're, oh, no, 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 the kids. But you got Sexyy Red out here literally doing worse than anything. One of her songs would destroy anything that I'm doing if we're competing, or excuse me, my whole catalog, if we're talking about competing for the most ratchet, the most raunchy. You know? One song alone could beat everything I have combined. So, who's more inappropriate for the kids? And it kind of shows you this conversation about all these things in the LGBTQI community, since we're on it, you know, that like are things that are condemned, like seeing this and that on TV. Why do you think that gender is something that kids should not be getting into? Or at least why are you saying that you think that when clearly you know that that's actually the opposite of how you feel? Because you know you want your little boys to know how to be little boys and your little girls to know how to be little girls, and you want them to know the difference because you want them to know how to treat the opposite sex when they interact with them. You want to know how you want little boys to know how little girls should be treated and vice versa. So we can't sit here, you everything's blue or pink immediately. Everything, the toys you give them are gender based. Like everything is gender based. So let's stop beating around the bush and let's just like all out like get that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like let's just get that trans bitch. Let's get that gay bitch. Like let's just all out admit to we don't want you all to exist and to have rights. That's it. Leave it at that. You ain't gonna explain it. Not for me at least. But I think it's just ridiculous because we see people out here doing this stuff. I mean, Sukiana just recently I think went viral. I think it was her for deep throating and apparently throwing up and then still going. So apparently she got a little bit more than with her burger, with her hot dog. Like, girl, like this is ridiculous out here. This is absolutely ridiculous. Got a little relish. Got a little relish. Like, this is sad. These are the people who are mainstream, who are seen as like the be all end all. I mean, like the top of the game, you know? And this is the type of stuff that they're out here doing and saying. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I just think it's ridiculous, you know? I think it's ridiculous that, I can sit here as a Black transgender woman and write operas. Yes, I've done that. Or at least write opera music. I can sit here and sing and write in multiple languages. I've written Japanese songs, Chinese songs, obviously English songs. I've written songs in Nigerian languages like Yoruba. Nobody gives a damn about that. And I won't say nobody, I get played, but like not enough. Not enough comparatively. Especially with the fact that you can Google me and I have my own Google panel. But it's like people don't want to hear that, but they want to run over and listen to, what's her lyrics? My body feels like it knows, but I don't know. I couldn't even try it. Girl, I ain't even gonna try it. I'm not gonna rack my brain for some Sexyy Red lyrics. But I'm Lynn Ferguson, also known as Lynn Tennyson. That's LIN10USON. Lynn Tennyson, like Ben 10. Your host here on the show. And I welcome you next time we jump in Lynn's Bins.